This happened in 2019. I came home from school that day. I was so tired that I felt nauseous and dizzy. I told my mom that I was not feeling well. I wanted to rest for a while, so I took a nap. I woke up a few hours later. I felt thirsty. At the same time, I also noticed that I seemed to feel much better. I got up to the cup of water. When I returned to the room, I was shocked by the scene in front of me. There was another me lying on the bed. I was sleeping. I thought I was dreaming, so I tried to pinch myself, but I didn't feel anything. Am I dreaming? Or is it all true? A thought suddenly flashed through my mind. If I lie down in the same position as the one on the bed, will I return to reality? I adjusted my posture immediately. I closed my eyes. At that moment, I was shocked. I saw my mom holding my hand. She was crying. She hugged me tightly and said, "Why is your face so pale? And you are cold? I thought something happened to you. I was going to make you something to eat, but you didn't eat." Now I am 36 years old, but that strange thing happened when I was 18 years old. At that time, I just graduated from high school and had no intention of going to school, so I found a job that was not eye-catching and became a cashier. The first 2 weeks of my entry to the workplace, everything went well until I met Lao Wang. Lao Wang is 63 years old and claims to have served in the military and participated in wars. At first, he seemed to be peaceful, but after a few days, he had a smelly smell on his body, as if he had crawled out of the garbage pile. At the 10th anniversary of the shop, everyone insisted on going to Lao Wang's house to have a party. As soon as I stepped into the door, an unimaginable bad smell came over and made me sick. When I was eating, Lao Wang brought out a bowl of soup, which looked like tomato soup. However, after entering the mouth, the taste was so strange that it was hard to swallow. After the party, I drove home, and I was as sleepy as a tide, and my consciousness was gradually blurred. The next morning, I woke up on the hospital bed, and I could only see my mother's tears, and my father shook his head and sighed. Then, the doctor entered the ward and told me that I had an electric shock and a fracture in my arm. I took Lao Wang's strange soup and called the doctor. After the police arrived, I told them what had happened. As far as I know, they went to Lao Wang's house and found that he was eating a human arm and took it away on the spot. It turned out that he was a heartless murderer, and later he was sentenced to life imprisonment. To this day, I still recall that past, and I still remember it. When have I ever regarded such a demon as a colleague? It is really embarrassing. Let me tell you about that summer night. It was a strange park experience. That day, I invited Lily and Sasha to come to my house to spend the night. Lily arrived first, Sasha came later. We went upstairs first and put the things we spent the night in my room. Then we went downstairs to the living room. We played the game as usual at noon. We played for a few hours. Of course, I got the highest score every time. They played a little boring. Sasha proposed to go to the park next to my house to see the stars. We told my dad, so we set off in woolen pajamas and woolen jackets. I am always suspicious. I am most afraid of what is hidden in the dark. They know that. They've been comforting me. On the way to the park, I am starting to feel anxious. When we got to the swing area, we left and played like fools. After a moment of chaos, we calmed down. We started to discuss our concerns secretly. I suddenly felt like I was being watched. I looked around. There was no car in the parking lot. In the open space of the park, there was no one in the toilet next to the amusement facilities. I thought, maybe it was just an animal, but then I denied the idea again. We were really being watched, I am sure, because my intuition has never been wrong. My friends noticed my fear. Lily deliberately told a few jokes. I took the opportunity to recall the past. I gradually relaxed. In order to leaven up the atmosphere, I turned on the music. I walked on the slide. My friends took selfies. I also ran down to join them. Sasha pushed Lily to swing. I started to flip through the photos in my phone. In the light, I saw something moving. I stood up and looked at the shadow under the slide. Then I walked to the two of them and said, "Did you see that thing?" They all said they didn't see it. Maybe it is the shadow of a car in the past. Don't get me wrong, but I know in my heart I am not crazy. I said, "There is something under the slide. Look." At this time, Lily saw that thing climbing up the slide. She shouted, "Really? There is really something. There is someone under the slide. That thing has got for legs on the ground. It has slowly pushing us in. It has so weird. I've never seen such a moving way in my life. It has so long. It has so quiet. So I grabbed my cell phone on the floor and rushed home. I ran and shouted, "You guys run?" I saw them staying in the swing. I shouted anxiously, "Why are you still sitting there? Run?" My friend started to run slowly, and he yelled at me, "You're running too fast. Slow down." I was more nervous. That thing might be following us. "Why don't you run?" We finally got home. I closed the door, and then I told my dad what I just saw. Lily said she and Sesha were still in the swing. She saw a man with his head tilted to one side. He had a sad expression on his face. He looked very young, more than 30 years old. Obviously not a child who needs parents. My dad said, "That might be Somione who wants to prank and scare people. Let us not think too much." We went back to the room. My friends kept telling me, "Don't be surprised. It has no big deal." But all kinds of possibilities kept popping up in my head. I was wondering if it was a pervert following us at night. For safety, I am not going to the park tonight. I suggest you don't go either. Who knows what will happen? Who knows if I'll be so lucky next time?